twisted play. Trisha J and irate Alex Knox all clear the way. Hillbilly Belinda, GGG Shay Spin. We're flipping scripts from the dark side, let the reckoning begin. We don't play in echo chambers, we make the cycle light the flame. No more cloud for chaos merchants, we're rewriting every name. Stop the lies, decode the spin, we're not fooled by full regret. Creators shine, the streets align, we're not done with justice yet. Last on Tiara Type, Fenrir Wolf at my side tonight. SBC crew, we ride or die, holding truth up to the light. No more threats, no more games, we're burning down that fake acclaim. YouTube streets, we claim the slate, look how down we elevate. Tiara gleams, the wolf stands tall. Neon truth across the wall. We're the voice they tried to silence, now we're louder than them all. From rally storms to birthday cheers, we ride with love and righteous rage. SBC's the final chapter, with the script we own the stage. Masks on Tiara Type, Fenrir Wolf at my side tonight. SBC crew.
I got a lot, she's petty AF. Blue hair blazing, she's stunning to death. Eyes like ice, but her soul's pure flame. She'll smile sweet, then flip the game. She's got that walk, that don't mess stride. Confidence loud, no need to hide. She's a calming chaos, the storm in peace. She'll hold her tongue, then cut like a beast. She's the kind that'll lift you high, but cross the line, you'll learn why. She's got fire in her veins, steel in her stance. She'll give you grace, but not a second chance. She don't take ish, she don't back down. Words like daggers, she'll spin you around. Mess with her crew, you'll feel the heat. She'll light the sky with fireworks on beat. She's picked me up when I was low, held my truth when I couldn't show. Listen deep, never judge my pain. Let me vent through thunder and rain. She's the bolt, the shield, the quiet roar. Never leaked a word, never closed the door. She's the kind you call at 2 a.m. and she'll answer like your closest fan. She's got wisdom wrapped in sass, a heart so big it'll never pass. People say she's cold, too tough, too loud, but they ain't seen her lift the crowd. She's a mother nana, so rare, with loyalty that fills the air. She's fierce, she's kind, she's got that spark. She's the light in the alley when it's cold and dark. If you're lucky, you'll see her shine, not just a mod, she's a lifeline. She's a mama, nana, so gold from the UK, but her love's bold. Catch a flight, cross the sea, if you're hurting, she's their loyalty. They call her mean, but they don't know she's the realest heart with the softest glow. FA and your FO, that's the code. She's my ride or die in every mode. She's a mama, nana, so gold from the UK, but her love's bold. Catch a flight, cross the sea, if you're hurting, she's their loyalty. They call her mean, but they don't know she's the realest heart with the softest glow. FA and your FO, that's the code. She's my ride or die in every mode. She's a storm they didn't see coming, the calm that hits like thunder drumming. She's loyalty inked in neon light, a midnight queen with fists that fight. She'll ride for you, fly for you, burn for the cause, but cross her line, you feel the claws. She's the realest, rawest, no mask, no show. FA and your FO, now you know. So raise a glass, salute the name. Patty AF, she owns her flame.
Happy Veterans Day, we raise our voice to honor the brave who made the choice to serve, to fight, to stand so tall. For freedom's light, they gave their all. From boot camp grit to battlefield cries, they held the line beneath foreign skies. With hearts of steel and souls so wide, they carried hope we hold with pride. Each uniform stitched with sacrifice, each step they took paid freedom's price. To those still serving and those who've gone, your courage echoes, your legacy lives on. My son's father wore the Army name, fought overseas, lit freedom's flame. My family's blood runs proud and deep. For liberty they lost sleep. They fought so we could chase our dreams. Now we salute with grateful beams. My son's father stood with honor bold in desert heat and nights ice cold. He bore the weight so we could breathe. A soldier's vow we won't unweave. To every vet who gave their years, we stand in thanks, we shed our tears. Your courage carved the path we tread. Will a flag above our head. There aren't enough thank yous to say for the peace we hold every day. To every soldier past and new, the red, white, and blue stand strong for you. Freedom isn't free, it's earned with grace by heroes who stood in danger's place. You gave us more than we can repay.
To all of you who tune in live, watch my vids and help me thrive. You're making dreams come true each day. With every view you light my way. Not for fame, not for the gold, I speak my truth, I break the mold. If I help one soul or maybe more, that's the dream I'm fighting for. Life gets rough, it falls apart, but we stay strong, we lead with heart. Men and women side by side, we lift each other when we cry. SBC crew, let's rise and shout. We're the ones they talk about. Dark side now, we shine so bright. Truth and love, we bring the light. 1K subs, we're on that track. Giving, 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 we give back. Covering cases, calling names, exposing lies. We play no games, create
haters, subs, we stand as one. Queen Clue Cletus, love you tons. Clip Channels fam, you gave me wings, believed in me, now hear me sing. I'm here to chat, to laugh, to heal. DM away, I keep it real. Art and resin, songs and lines, drawings, AI created signs. Every stream, each background play counts for something every day. SBC crew, let's rise and shout. We're the ones they talk about. Dark side, now we shine so bright. Truth and love, we bring the light. 1K subs, we're on that track. Giving, 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 we give back. I've seen the nights where silence screams, where hope feels lost inside our dreams. But every comment, every cheer reminds me why I'm still right here. We're not just clips or viral trends, we're truth tellers, we're loyal friends. We speak for those who've lost their voice, we stand for justice, that's our choice. From resin gifts to neon light, I craft with love, I fight with might. Each drawing, song, or AI face carries your strength, your warm embrace. So when the trolls come out to play, we rise above, we light the way. This crew's not built on fear or fame, we're built on love. Remember the name, SBC crew, we're bold, we're loud, we lift each other, make you proud. This verse is yours, this beat is true. I'm here because of all of you. So here's my heart, my voice, my dream. Together we're a mighty team. Thank you all for riding through. SBC crew, I see you.
Yeah, it's that porch swing posse meets back row bass. Little sailor riding tall on a short stack frame. Mask on, true loaded, receipts in the glove box. Let's purge. They're short but mighty, boots on the airwaves. Sailor drives thunder down TikTok lanes. It's skull on the Stetson, mask on the screen. Calling out the bullshit purge queen mean. Hashtag purge crew rolling, we ride, we ride. From the holler to the hard drive, side by side. Yeah, yeah. Got a steel string hard and a neon mic. She'll stitch your lies like a Friday night fight. Upload spin like a creek boat wheel. Popping open secrets with a howdy and steel. AI beats fused with that banjo chop. Throw a yeehaw over 808 drop. Survivor strong. Got scars that sing. Turns trauma to a torch. Watch the porch light bling. Receipts in the saddlebag. Hashtags blaze. Hashtag FUBJ. Spray painted on the side of the stage. If you fake that funk, better duck that shade. Sailors coming through the mask of mighty. Boots on the airwaves. Slow time, slow it out, please top lanes. Air skull on the Stetson, mask on the screen. Calling out the bullshit purge queen mean. Hashtag purge crew rolling, we ride, we ride. From the holler to the hard drive, side by side. Yeah. From the red clay roads to the Wi-Fi stream, she wrangles trolls like tumbleweeds, living loud for the voiceless kin. Wheelchair wheels carve the asphalt him. Hashtag RA survivor, hashtag DV strong. She's lifting up folks who've been done wrong. Tea gets spilled in a Dixie cup. Sip that truth, watch the sub count jump. Light it one for the lost, crank the amps for the found. When the night gets thick, she's the loudest sound. Hip hot ain't might, that's her battle cry. Standing tiptoe tall to paint the sky. They're short but mighty, boots on the airwaves. Sailor drops thunder down TikTok lanes. Air skull on the Stetson, mask on the screen. Calling out the bullshit purge queen mean. Hashtag purge crew rolling, we ride, we ride. From the holler to the hard drive, side by side. And when the porch light flickers on a midnight screen, know a tiny titan's talking big and clean.
Hello, hello, hello. No. It's coming out of the thing. That's how we had to do it. Hi, Petty. Hi, Mom. Hi, Clue. Or Clue. Wow. I saw Clue Lab earlier. That's why. Cola and Little Bro. I hope you guys are having a great day. And thank you. I want to thank all the veterans that make it possible for us to have all the freedoms we have, for allowing me to even do this. So, Colder, it seems harder than it actually is. I could teach you if you needed me to. Well, not like Chroma Reels, but the way I do mine. I could, if you ever need me to, I can, because you seem good at the songs, or getting a song. If you need any help ever with, like, the pictures and putting it in a slideshow and putting the music to that slideshow to upload, I'll be more than happy to help. But tonight, I went over Melody Buzzard last night. And today, because there's a great big moo on this app that tried to start covering this case that was in my state. And of course, as you know, nodded off and fell asleep, and so disrespectful. So disrespectful. I have both, Petty, yes. I'm more skilled in the CapCut. I'm still learning for Filmora, but both are absolutely excellent. Okay, I'll DM you, Cole. But I don't know if you guys remember back that Omumu decided to try and cover this case in my state. And obviously, as always, she does a bad job. She literally basically just nodded off and wasn't paying attention. And to me, that's beyond disrespectful. Alright, let's see. Just so I have this up too. I spent at least a couple hours on researching and information about this case prior. So it's not just all videos and everything. Yup, and that pissed me off to no end because we don't get good enough coverage here in Connecticut as it is, especially missing kids, everything. We don't get any coverage. We don't get any news articles. It's nothing. They're not even the news, for God's sakes. So this one did make it to the news. I'm going to put a trigger warning out there. It's not an easy subject. It's kind of brutal, and it is vile and disgusting, and it broke my heart hearing about it. But I actually want to cover the case with notes that I took, because I research and I listen to different places. And when I tell you I have, let's see, front. This is front and back. So the front is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pages just from about like maybe 2 hours looking into this once I figured out the name. Yes, so you guys remember. She nodded off during it, and I am. Connecticut is known for a lot of crappy shit as it is. And for her to attempt to cover it, I don't know. And I actually haven't seen many people cover it. Cola, don't say that, because, honestly, if you find a case that really you connect with, you go on, YouTube, credible sources. Like, I went to one person's and got the whole timeline. Because channels do that. They'll give you the whole timeline, all of the events that took place, as well as the information. I bounce back and forth between that and articles and just looking things up.
Moo makes it look easy to mess up, but it's actually not. You just do your research. That's all it is. And with, like, this case, I was with her when she was doing a lot of the research to this case, just alone today.
Yep. Because I originally did hear it from a creator that covered BJ that shall not be named. I don't even want to name her. And she went over BJ's and she was freaking sleeping. I am sorry, but BJ, you'll never beat true crime. You don't care about the victims. You don't care about any of it.
You don't even do your own research.
Yeah, you ask everybody, can you send me this? Can you send me that? No, see, I don't do that.
If people have info,
Well, yeah, of
we'll
course.
take it as
Of course, if anybody
it's a
has
tip
the
to
info,
help.
it helps get the most important
Aspect
huh?
of
Yeah.
the case.
And it gives me things that maybe I haven't seen. I did email Tear Talk, whose video I used for Melody Buzzard, seeing if he wants to use any of my stuff. He's more than welcome to. Because like I said, we're a little state, and our state sucks for everything it's known for as it is. So child cases kind of get pushed off to the side.
They don't
Sadly.
want that statistics out there. That's why it gets shoved under the rug
Yep.
all the time.
But this one I
But the kids
found,
matter. They don't.
like I said, it's trigger warning. It is heartbreaking. It is not something for the weak mind, the weak, like emotionally or mental health. I do not mind if anybody ever has to leave. Hi to Jennifer. How are you?
It's been a while since we've seen her.
But I want to stand on it. This is my state. And if there's a true crime in my state, I want to be respectful. I want to cover this the best I can.
It's not far from home.
And it's really not far from home, actually. Yeah, he's right. It's not far from
It's not even a 30-minute drive.
where I am.
And also it happened in Lena.
So I will get to my notes just to kind of briefly summarize it before we watch anything, do anything, all of that. Now, this is the case that Mumu tried and failed miserably at covering because she nodded off. It's Jacqueline Torres Garcia. They called her Mimi for short. There's a few states. It was New Britain, Farmington, and a couple. I think there was one other place I can't remember. New Haven. That it really that it came out of. The mother, Kara Garcia, and her boyfriend, what was his name? Jonathan. Now mind you, I'm gonna call her Mimi. It's easier. Mimi, after she was born, because when she was born, her mother was incarcerated. So she went and lived with the grandparents. And she was happy all the time and all of that. I guess the mother went to court, got full custody. And that was the full custody was in June of 2024. DCF had opened a case when she did get the custody to do checks, and they closed that in September of 2022. Then came along another DCF case, CPS in other states, DCF in here, this case, started another one checking in because of the younger sister. She went from public school to homeschooling. She let me see if I can get a picture up here for you guys at least.
So the mother got sole custody in 2024, or did you mean to say 2022?
No, she got in 2024. It'll line up, trust me. Nobody had seen or we'll just put this one up. Seen or heard from her in over a year. No saying anything to anybody, not spotted, nothing. For over a whole year. And that's, let me get a little bit bigger. There she is. She's such a beautiful little girl. Oh yeah, definitely. Jennifer, I can see that. But this is Mimi, as I call her. I just want to call her that. Let's see. She did actually end up having a younger sibling where DCF then again checked in, and they passed off as completely okay, and it was dropped again. The father of Mimi was, it was joint custody. He got them every weekend, or got her every weekend, or supposed to be, but the mother, refused to let him see her and his side of the family. Kind of like Melody Buzzard's case. I see a lot of similarities. A lot. Let's see what else. So she cut off the whole biological father's thing, and the only reason why she got sole custody is because, I mean, it could have been a mix-up, but her father didn't show up to that court date hearing. I don't know what could have happened. I have no idea. You never know. Things happen. It wasn't until October 8th, 2025, that anybody had heard about her or had brought it to law enforcement's attention, because there was an anonymous caller that explained that the boyfriend had a tote. I guess he was supposedly trying to get to the cemetery, but would have been more caught. And he went to this abandoned house that was boarded up and everything, and he put this storage container in the back on the property of an abandoned building, thinking, oh, nothing of it. Oh, there's tons more, trust me. So, who was it? So, the Farmington police then went to that abandoned house, searched it inside and out, and in the backyard, they found a tote, and unfortunately, and disgustingly and sadly, she was found. Unfortunately, she was unalived, and we'll get into that, of course. Let's see. And this happened at 80 Clark Street. 80 Clark Street is where it happened, where the abandoned house was. Let's see. After she was alive, then they confirmed Mimi was sent to the medical examiner. It was confirmed that it was Mimi, who was only 11 years old. This baby girl was only 11. Let's see. And they could tell that and I will go into that part. She was there. She was in there for about a year plus. And then they decided, because they were moving, because they stayed in hotels because of the smell and stuff, that they would move. Just dropped her off in a tote and left. Yes, Betty, I can. Give me 1 second, guys. Petty usually never asks me to, so. Did you put it in a certain... Oh, you said DM. Alright, hold on. I sent you one. Because I don't see anything there besides what you told me before, so... I just sent you one. And everything. Yes, I just princess. The ruler of the house. I sent you a DM, Petty, as well, just so that way I know what's going on. Let's see. So, she has been, unfortunately, not here on Earth for a year. A whole year. And I can firmly say, with my opinion, in my eyes, DCF failed this child twice. Twice.
Not just DCF, the courts.
Because Mimi's aunt had her own charges of the same exact kind of thing on her 11-month-old. So, all three, the mother, the mother's boyfriend, and the aunt are all incarcerated because the aunt knew what was going on pretty much. There was no, when I found her, there wasn't anything recent, like trauma-wise or neglect or punishment-wise, because I have several cousins that work for DCF. Yeah, Jennifer, I am not surprised. My cousin, Brian, wanted to do it because he wanted to change things up and how it ran. And once he saw that there wasn't a possibility, he moved on.
I have a good friend who left because of that.
So I am so sorry for your cousins. That it is. The worst part is they go to calls where it's just people being petty. No offense, Petty. Okay, Petty, let me check. You know, false claims, all that kind of stuff. Hold on one second, Petty, I'm gonna... Sorry, I was just responding. So, yeah, DCF definitely failed her twice, but I've also seen parents be very good at making it look good and everything. Now, this is, like I said, this is just from different places. I did watch one from, I want to say, I think I gotta go to SF's Twitter, remind me of that. But they also learned that she was very malnourished, like bad. Her mother did admit what happened to Mimi. And right away, as soon as she was brought in, she confessed. I'm trying to think. I lost my spot. And they did go through the mother's phone and they found some I'm trying to see if I can do this. It's okay. Oh, very nice to Jennifer. She works with the FBI, not for them, but with them. So they found terrible things on her phone and her, like, you know how most androids have like a little, you can write down a notepad. They did in 2024. The mother did confess, or it might have been 2025. I believe it was 24. Confessed about the neglect, malnourishment, child abuse kind of thing that was going on. And it wasn't so, she did things, but she more stood to the side, and her quote-unquote boyfriend is the one that allegedly did the most of what they did to the child. Hey, princess. She's trying to stream with me. There was 2 times in 2024 that Jacqueline tried to get out. She tried to, like, kind of like a runaway situation. But family members always, both times, found her and brought her back to the family home. And this is where it gets a little triggering. I'm just warning everybody. This is information that I had been digging up, and I didn't just go to the news stations, because we all know what news stations do. They do misinform. I mean, even so do people out here. We all know this. But both times, and because she tried to run away, sadly, her form of punishment was being zip tied, like, I'm assuming, like, wrists and feet, but she was restrained in zip ties, and she was refused any food and any water. Right before, the 2 weeks prior to her passing, they did not feed her or anything for 2 weeks. Hence why she looked so malnourished. Oh, I guess the mother also had pictures of her daughter, Mimi, laying on dog potty pads while she was restrained. That's why I warned, this is very hard. It's not easy to listen to. It's heartbreaking, to say the least. It's absolutely morbid and vile. And all 3, the mother, the boyfriend, and the sister, have prior criminal records and convictions of stuff. So it's not like it's their first rodeo of getting in trouble with the law. Then Jackie, who was the aunt, after she got, I believe it was after she got out of, or no, she moved from there to New Haven. Yeah, they are being, yes, I will be pulling that up. The aunt, they're both named Jacqueline, so that's why, I put Jackie from watching somebody else. Prolonged and let this little girl go through what she went through and didn't even say a peep. Let's see. When she was released in August 2025, she went to Mimi's mother's house to stay. I guess she noticed a foul odor coming from the, just the household. It had that odor. I mean, for God's sakes, this poor child was gone for a year, like gone. And what they were doing was they were picking up and moving to a different place. And they were also, before that, they were staying in hotels and friends' houses because of the, sorry, my asthma, because of the morbid smell and everything like that. And when they moved, the boyfriend decided to, like I said, at first it was going to be like a cemetery. I guess that's where that was the first place, but I believe that it was possibly, too public, too risky. And this is the worst part. This beautiful 11-year-old, her time of passing was September 19th, 2024. So that's a whole damn year. Oh, okay. And the second time DCF was involved, it was for the younger child, I believe. And, of course, since she had Mimi as a child, DCF wanted to lay eyes on the other child. It happens in all cases. Almost all cases, I should say. So, I guess I did a video call, and I don't know if it was the younger sibling or what, but somebody pretended to be this little girl and got away with it. Like on a Zoom. Okay. Okay, I got information. to clear up any of the misinformation I could have said, and I do apologize. Petty, thank you, beautiful, for helping me make sure that I make this right and be as respectful as possible. She was found in a container. She was kept in the basement of their house before they moved. When they moved, they took Mimi in the container and dumped her behind the abandoned house. Police state they had never occupied by the suspects and found Mimi due to a neighbor reporting suspicious activity. They found her in a very advanced state of
Decomposition.
Thank you, decomposition. The mom knew she was going to pass away before she passed away. Thank you, Petty. I appreciate that so very much. So it was. That just makes my stomach turn. That's even worse. I mean, just knowing the fact. And
Told you, that's how sick and morbid people are. They're disgusting. And it sucks. Some states.
whew, that's hard. This is a case that's just hard only because Mama, myself. And thank you again, Petty, for what you wrote, so I could, just in case I misspoke, I want to be as genuine and as respectful to this family as I possibly can. Let's see. Except for the boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend, who was 30. Both Mimi's mother and aunt were under 20 or under 30 when they got arrested. Under 30. I for sure thought it would have been like they were older and possibly mental health conditions, stuff like that. No, they weren't even 30 except for the boyfriend. Like I told you, they all had criminal backgrounds in their past. Hence why yeah, they all had different kinds of past. That's why originally, after Mimi was born, she stayed with the grandparents until her mother went to court to fight for her. And the only reason that she got full custody was because a circumstance happened, and I've seen this happen so many times. Unfortunately, either maybe he wasn't aware, I don't know. The father of Mimi did not show up because he was taking her to court because she was going against their written plan where he got to see her every weekend and talk to her and everything, and that all stopped. And because he missed that one date, Mimi's mother, Carla, got full custody. After that, she backed away from him and his family seeing or talking to her. One of the charges for the mom's boyfriend was obviously tampering with evidence. No surprise there. Let's see. Did I miss something? Because I member. Oop, sorry. I am trying to make sure I don't. Making sure I thought I had sent extra in here. I just want to double check. Jackie, the aunt has been released. She was released in August of 2025. Oh, wait, no. That's when she moved back. Okay, never mind. Scrap that. They also found in Carla's phone the notes. They found she listed every single thing that happened. Everything that happened. She detailed it too. Okay, making sure I didn't skip anything. So, Mimi sadly was a victim of prolonged, over a very long amount of time, of abuse, neglect, and malnourishment. And then I did not catch the cause. Oh wait, no, the cause was because no food, no water. That's right. I looked at some of the videos that the community was literally devastated. I mean, they've got kids and everything. And when that happens, even if it's not the best place to be living or whatnot, there are little communities and neighbors, and they were heartbroken. They did an interview. Oh, November 14th, go figure, my oldest daughter's birthday, of this year, they have their next court date. The grandfather they interviewed was beyond devastated because at first Mimi was living with the grandparents, and he was so hurt because he considered her just like a daughter because they were raising her. So of course, and it's not the family of the father or the father. They didn't stop trying to reach out and communicate. They kept trying to communicate over and over again, and there was always some kind of excuse. She couldn't talk on the phone. And then they had another interview. They did it with this person, like in a gas station, little shop on the side of sides, and he said he had seen her, before. She was very quiet, kept to herself, didn't really say much of anything. Now, for the younger sibling and the DCF case that was brought about, as far as I know, there hasn't been anything released because it's still ongoing. And weirdly enough, was it? August. I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, so like about October 8th is when she was found, and weirdly enough, I believe it was October 13th, she talked with somebody in her community, like her apartment area, about doing a podcast after, her daughter was no longer here on Earth. But she ended up backing out of that. And that was only days before I believe she was arrested. So, pretty much it's a case of, oh, I do have more. What am I talking about? Of course, just like anybody else, like me, DCF really, really, really horribly failed this child. 100%. Like, failed this child. And there are lawmakers in Connecticut that are trying to get DCF to be better. I'll only believe that when I see it, because not only have I dealt with them for reasons that were just out of left field and not true, and I was always open, honest, transparent, let them in, talked to them, did what they asked, and guess what? Case closed, no findings. Because I worked with them, and when they looked at it, it was more so out of spite, people called. Oh, I don't know this to be factual. I know that auntie will be released. Oh, yeah. I believe the aunt is set at, what? 1 million, and I believe the boyfriend and the mother are at 5 million bond. I ain't gonna get that. People did speculate if it was the younger sister that pretended on a Zoom call with DCF, like a FaceTime. But either the younger sister or somebody else looked enough like her to pass off, and they used her to do the video conference call. I mean, it's no surprise here. Not only is the system just, DCF is just messed up, it's the fact that they're also underfunded, underpaid, overworked. Like, they don't have enough people to cover everything. They don't. And they cut fundings. So, am I making an excuse for DCF? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it is true that in the state of Connecticut, DCF, which would be CPS anywhere else, or whatever you may have in your state, that they are so underfunded, and they don't have enough people to cover everything. They don't have the staff. And while, we'll use my 7-year-old, because Fenrir's mom, out of spite, called.
Not even just a 7-year-old. Princess.
Oh, sorry, Princess. Yes.
For both.
Because the condo we had wasn't pristine. It was clean. We had dishes going all the time. The sink was always empty. There was always food in the fridge and freezer. There was not a doubt, because Fenrir would always make sure, even if it was just for the kids. At least the kids ate. She had a place to sleep. So did so did my other kids. And the only reason why she called was because it wasn't up to her standards of quote unquote clean. When after I left for a year and a half, Fenrir can clean. Let me tell you one thing. Fenrir, when he's focused and wants to make it look like when we had a rental, he cleans. He can clean. On top of the fact that he had help from his father and stepmom, who are, especially his stepmom is very, precise with cleaning. They clean, and Fenrir told me that even after that, his mom was not happy enough. So, I will continue that. I have one of my kiddos in here and I don't want to say anything because that's Petty said to send you her way because she needs help cleaning.
That's an expensive ticket and a long flight.
Well, say it was paid for, would you do the flight?
Go to England? Fuck yeah. I'd also go see my uncle.
Yes. There you go. Because yes, he does have an uncle in England that I've chatted over the phone during holidays and everything like that.
You just talked to him on Saturday.
Yeah. So he said if it, isn't a high price to fly there, hell yeah, he'd get on a plane and go there. Because, one, it's one of those things that it's beautiful there, so therefore even I would want to go. The flying, I don't know. I know they offer, like, a boat, but it takes, like, 2 weeks to get there.
Fuck the boat, you hop on the plane, and you deal with it.
But, well, you know what? You don't like to be in open water. I do not like to be in open sky.
Rather be in the sky. A plane's safer than a boat.
Oh, dear Jesus. Coming from the man who refuses to go on a cruise on one of those cruise ships where you feel nothing. It is a huge... There's so much happening. He refuses. He does not like, and I'm not going to put him down. He doesn't like open water. It scares the hell out of him.
It's not also just that. There's more boat accidents than planes.
I don't know about that. I'm talking about, like, the cruise ships and stuff.
I know, the floating cities.
Oh, jeez. See.
No, I said the floating cities. That's what they're called.
Yes, floating cities. But part of it...
sister-in-law have been on him enough.
Part of it is he does not want to be dead set in the middle of the ocean where he cannot see land. That is something he's not comfortable with.
Never have been.
I'm not comfortable. I hated flying when I flew when I was 16. No, I hate flying. It scares the absolute crap out of me. But would I get on a plane for Petty? Yep. Yep, I would. If Petty needed me, I'd be like, all right, we're going to work it out. We'll be there. Because Petty is one person that if she reached out like that, I would know something was very, very, very wrong. Because Petty don't ask for help for shit. She does not. She stands on her own feet. She's a great mom, a great nana. Or Mimi, oh, I forgot you're called. You are a grandmother. Okay, there we go. I mean, even if it was something to do with the littles, say something happened, I will be on the next flight out there. Because I can see Petty doing the same damn thing to say something happened or whatever to the creators she follows, their kids. If something really bad happened, you don't think Petty's going to jump on a flight? Oh, I'm pretty sure she would have plenty of help paying for that trip because, oh my goodness, she's going to be one. Oh my goodness.
She turns one the same day. Daughter turns.
Oh, actually, your little shares a birthday with my oldest daughter. Well, I will make sure that I make her make a little song, little princess song like I made for my daughter. And Petty, I will send it straight to you. It will only be uploaded as unlisted, so only you and anyone you want to share it with can see it. Unless you want me to put it public, I will not. Because I respect that. I respect you too much. You know, I want it to be however you'd like it. And you can DM me, like, if the little one has interests or, like, certain colors, all that, I'll make it happen. Because everybody knows Petty has been here for me through so much. And she's been through so much. You're very welcome, Petty, of course. I mean, like I tell everybody else, if I see a kid that's not my own, yes, okay, I will do it unlisted so that way only you and anybody say you give the link to, like family member, anybody, or if you play it, only you will be able to see it, nobody else. That it will be completely, pretty much private. The only difference between private and unlisted is unlisted, you can still send the link and the people can see it, the person can see it, but private's completely private. So I will make sure I do that, definitely, because I don't care if it's my kids. If I'm walking or I'm out somewhere and I see something, yes, we do, Petty, yep. Get through it, keep moving, because we gotta do it. We have to stay strong. But I would, if I ever saw anything that needed to be done or said, or if I saw a child in danger, I don't care if it's my child or not. I will make, that's if Fenrir doesn't catch it first. If it was bad enough, I would literally and I saw, like, say I saw fear in the kid's eyes, I would get down to the level and I would have them, see if they would come with me, especially if say their parents took off or whatever. And I would bring them to make sure that they are all set. The family that needs to be called is called. And if I have to do anything else in real, like, if I see it in real life in, my grocery store or anything, I can then report anything I need to report, because Connecticut, everybody's a mandated reporter. You have to. But if I see something, I will say something if it's literally in front of my eyes. Like, I'm there physically watching this. So, if anybody ever thinks they're going to get away with messing with not just my kids, but Petty's, Alabama Mamas. Oh, okay, Mom. Alabama Mama is another one. And of course, Baby Clue and Granny's kids. I go to bat for them. I don't care. Like, I was heated last night, and everybody knew about it. Trust me. I kept it pretty short. I didn't want to go and cross boundaries, but oh dear Lord, when I saw what she put on the screen and that Cletus hadn't even seen, oh dear Jesus, I was like, why? Why? So, say somebody brought up Petty's kids. I would be straight on the internet being like, we ain't doing this. Nope. I've done it for Baby Clue, because whether she's an adult or not doesn't matter. She is somebody's baby girl. She is Clue and Cletus's daughter. Granny, she's got kids. If I ever found out or saw it brought up, oh yeah, I would make sure that it was out there. I would make sure that, I wouldn't go completely public first. I would approach Granny, of course, always. Yes, Petty, exactly. I'd have to beat you to it. I would. But people don't realize in this community, it's like being aunties. Like, you connect with a creator, you are a mother, and or grandmother as well. The love you have for kids doesn't stop with your kids. Your mama bear instincts goes far past that. Far past that. Just like Fenrir has 2 prior. Do I think of them like my own? Of course. I have seen them grow up from like little bitty. Well, not little bitty, but preteens. Just hitting double digits to now. And if people think there wasn't something that I could do, that if Fenrir or say their mother couldn't get there fast enough, I would call my dad and be like, you need to take me right now. Or even if Fenrir was there, I'd be like, we gotta go meet up. I want to be there right now. Same as he would do for my prior to. People think you're savage? What? Oh, bitch, don't let them come. I swear to God, if they go for your kids. Oh, nope. I will. I may. I would have to be very careful in what I say so I don't lose my child. Or child, Jesus. channel because Thunder would literally have to man the mic because he knows how upset I would get. You don't mess with Petty and you don't mess with her babies or her grandkids, because guess what? You think Petty's bad as she is? Whoo! You got nothing. Nope. Nope. You ain't seen nothing. Petty protects hers. She's one strong ass woman. She's gone against plenty of men and put her freaking foot down. Oh, which reminds me. Hold on. Hold, please. Oops, it's supposed to be one. Come on. Just want to make sure. No, that was for the other thing. Believe it's that one. If it wants to load, you know, Streamlabs, you are a pain in the butt. But yeah, so I'm going to still continue doing research, and watch different people, and I'm hoping and praying some people will, you know, jump on this, you know, get a little whiff. I know I'm in, you know, the East Coast, and I know, ooh, hold on. I know this is not, you know, from the South or anything, but all the creators that I know, I don't think would have a problem with bringing awareness, but I wanted to because since old Snoozy Boone really just utterly disrespected the hell out of it all. I could not. I could not. I had to do it. I'm like, you know what? This is a case I actually found in my hometown, like my home state. BJ, go bother somebody else. Go tend to your infant child of a man. Go do whatever you need to do. Stay the fuck out of my freaking state, please. Especially if you can't stay the fuck away to, you know. Yeah, see, I wanted to do the vertical, but I don't. I think that's through Streamlabs. Or StreamYard. I use Streamlabs, but using StreamYard to bring more attention isn't a bad idea. I actually kind of like that kind of thing. It's confusing to know where to go, but I figured it out. But yeah, I kind of like. But I'll probably upload like a small video with updates or something like that, or just links to where you can find certain information and you can research it on your own so that you can get, you know, different types of opinions. As far as I'm concerned, they were proven guilty, so therefore facts can be stated, such as they were shitty parents, they had criminal background, they had criminal backgrounds, it's not their first rodeo, and yeah. I mean, I could, Penny, I could always do StreamYard through, I could always go vertical, I mean.
Streamlabs does it too.
No, it's a new thing. People have the same live, it's the same live, and you'll see a little mobile symbol next to one of them, and the one below that's the actual live. It's a collab now. But if I'm gonna have to figure that out for sure, because I would reach a bigger audience. But I'm going to find one of the things to play that I watched. I'm trying to look for the first one I saw. I believe it. No, it wasn't that one. This one. All right, let me just
abuse and neglect them as soon.
Pause that real quick. Because this lady did a great job. She went through every timeline, or all the timelines, what happened. I got a lot of information from this one video and some very credible people, like news stations and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to say everything's a fact or it's completely right, because it definitely could not be. But I'm going to use the little ladies' room because my IBS is acting up. Yay me! And I'm going to start to begin this, and Fenrir's right next to me, so he can pause it and say some opinion for fair use, because I definitely want to make sure I do that. So I'm gonna start playing this, and I will be right back.
Carla fought for and won back custody of both of her daughters. From there, no one raised the alarm. This story is very hard to hear, but it's such an important one to discuss. So with that being said, let's jump right into the details of this case. Jacqueline Torres Garcia, who went by the nickname Mimi, was born to Carla Garcia and Victor Torres. For most of her life, Jacqueline grew up with her younger sister under the care of her parental grandparents, Patricia and Felix Delgado. But by 2002, Jacqueline's mother, Carla, fought for and won back custody of both of her daughters. From there, Patricia said that all of her rights were revoked. That meant that not only did she not have custody, but if the family didn't want her to see Jacqueline, she wouldn't be able to. As for Jacqueline's father, he did also have partial custody of Jacqueline. He got to see her on the weekends. But Carla also kept her from him. By 2023, Victor took Carla to court, saying that he just wanted to see his daughter on the weekends or any day for that matter. But by June of 2024, his request was denied and Carla was granted full custody of Jacqueline. From there, 11-year-old Jacqueline went on to live with her mother, 29-year-old Carla, her boyfriend, 30-year-old Jonathan Nanita, and their 3 children in a home in New Britain, Connecticut. Now, after custody was awarded to Carla back in 2022, DCS was involved with the family. They did regular check-ins to make sure everyone was safe, healthy, and happy. From what they gathered, it seemed like DCS felt good about Carla and Jonathan's ability to care for the children. She and her siblings were attending school. They were being seen by medical providers, and they appeared well cared for within the home. So by September of 2022, their case was closed and no further action was required. Now, starting in kindergarten all the way through 5th grade, Jacqueline had attended public school in New Britain School District. But by August of 2024, 2 years after moving in with her mother, Carla pulled her out of school, stating that she was planning to homeschool her. It was also around this time that Carla completely cut Jacqueline's parents and her father out of her life. Anytime Patricia would call Carla, she had an excuse for why no one could see Jacqueline. For over an entire year, no one outside the home ever saw or heard from Jacqueline. Not social workers, no medical providers, not her extended family or her father. Nothing was heard about this family until October 8th, 2025. That day, the Farmington Police Department received an anonymous tip saying that they just witnessed something suspicious. They said that they watched as Jonathan picked up a tote from the woods at a cemetery, put it in the back of his car, and then drove to an abandoned home located at 80 Clark Street and put the tote at that property and left it there. Based on what they saw, the tipster believed that there may have been a body in that tote. That same day, officers followed up and started searching around that abandoned home. And before long, they located the tote. Upon opening the tote, they made a horrifying discovery. There was the body of a young girl inside. Right away, the body was sent to the medical examiner for an autopsy, and there it was determined that the body belonged to then 11-year-old little Jacqueline Torres Garcia. According to the autopsy, the ME found no sign of recent trauma or injuries to her body which could have contributed to her death, though they noted that Jacqueline appeared to be very malnourished. It was a bit difficult.
Child not being in school, that's always a touchy subject for like me. I went through school, but like my two oldest did homeschooling. As long as you're in a good program, to me, I see no reason to bash people that decide to do homeschooling. Connecticut is really lax on that. They don't really pursue it unless the child wasn't pulled from school with all the documents signed. Dot your I's, cross your T's, because Connecticut does have truancy law. But outside of that, you can state you're homeschooling your kid and go away with it. And no one's going to do anything. And it, in this case, definitely wasn't the best thing for her because, as you know, there's no way to check on a child because schools are always monitoring their child that's there with them. As we know from our 7-year-old, that school is very well kept. They know everything about all the children in there. I've not met a principal ever in my life that knows all the kids in his school alone by their names and everything.
To determine the actual cause of death, though, because Jacqueline had been dead for a very long time before her body was found. She had been in a state of decomposition when she was found. Shortly after Jacqueline's body was discovered, all of the adults in the home with Jacqueline were taken in for questioning. That included Carla, her boyfriend Jonathan, as well as Carla's sister, also Jacqueline. For the sake of avoiding confusion, I will now refer to the older Jacqueline as Jackie. So Aunt Jacqueline is Jackie. According to reports, pretty much right away, Carla admitted to police what happened to her young daughter. As she was making her confession, police also seized her, Jonathan's, and Jackie's cell phones. And what I'm about to tell you is based on the confession from Carla, as well as what they found on those phones, and it's very disturbing. Carla admitted that starting in the summer of 2024, Jonathan and her started abusing and neglecting Jacqueline. They said that they would often confine Jacqueline to a corner of a room for hours upon hours at a time if she misbehaved. Then they would withhold food from her any time she broke the rules. Then there were 2 times within the summer of 2024 when Jacqueline tried running away, trying to escape the abuse and neglect she was facing. But each time, she was found by a family member and brought back to the home. As punishment, Jacqueline would then be restrained in the home with zip ties. From there, restraining Jacqueline with zip ties became a regular form of punishment. She said that most of the abuse towards Jacqueline, though, was at Jonathan's direction. Carla then admitted that she and Jonathan completely stopped feeding Jacqueline for 2 full weeks before her death. No food, no water. She knowingly starved her to death. Then, as I stated, officers also looked at Carla, Jonathan, and Jackie's phones. On Jackie's phone, they actually found a photo of Jacqueline lying on the floor on top of 2 pee pads while being restrained by zip ties. Of course, after finding out this information, they wanted to hear from Jackie to see how much she claimed to know about the abuse. Jackie told police that she lived in the house with Carla and her family on and off between June and August of 2024 before she moved to New Haven. She shared a room with Jacqueline and her younger sister, where she observed prolonged abuse and neglect. She watched as Jacqueline was tied up with zip ties, being confined to a corner of a room and starved. She went as far as saying that when she left the home in August, she, quote, knew Jacqueline was going to die. So this woman just sat by and watched as her own niece was abused and starved to death. Even when she left the home, knowing she would probably die, she did absolutely nothing about it. That might sound horrific and shocking to some, but knowing what she did to her own child, I think it's safe to say Jackie does not shy away from abuse. After leaving Carla's home by December of 2024, Jackie was sentenced to spend 8.5 months in prison after she and her then boyfriend were charged with abusing her own 11-month-old daughter. Back in the summer of 2022, Jackie brought her child to the hospital with complaints of pain in her left leg, and she was having difficulty putting any weight on it. Upon examination, it was found that the 11-month-old had multiple injuries, including bruises and fractures, all in various stages of healing, meaning that they happened over time in different instances. Jackie tried explaining away those injuries to medical staff and in later police interviews. She said that in December of 2021, she was holding her daughter and fell asleep, so she fell out of her arms and must have hit her head. She said that she called the doctor to make sure the daughter would be okay, and the doctor told her not to bring the baby in if she seemed to be acting normally. Of course, though, when police followed up with the child's doctor, no such call had ever been made. A doctor would never tell you not to bring your baby in after they sustained a head injury. That's just ludicrous. She also told police in those interviews that she would often be left alone to care for the baby because her boyfriend worked long hours. She admitted to often feeling depressed and hopeless. Jackie's boyfriend, Jesus, also had interviews with police to explain their daughter's injuries. He said that sometimes him and Jackie would fight over the child. He would hold her very tightly so that Jackie couldn't pry her from his arms, stating that it's possible she sustained some of her injuries during those fights. He gripped her and pulled her so tightly, it may have caused a few broken ribs. He really couldn't explain any of the other injuries though, so in the end, it was deemed that their stories did not make sense. So both of them were arrested and sent to prison on child abuse charges. Jesus is still in jail, while Jackie was released in August of 2025. Upon her release, she returned back to living with her sister Carla. While living in the home, she noticed that there was a very strong, foul odor. That is when she discovered the body of her niece, Jacqueline, in the home. At the time, Carla told Jackie that Jacqueline had actually died on September 19th, 2024. You heard that right. 11-year-old Jacqueline died a year before her body was discovered. After being confronted with this information, Carla went on to admit to police that on the day in question, Jonathan found Jacqueline's body and brought her downstairs. Based on what we know up to this point, Jacqueline likely died of starvation. Carla said that Jonathan said he'd take care of Jacqueline's body, so she didn't know what he ended up doing with her. Turns out he put her body in the basement of that home where she remained for the months that followed. But with her dead, decaying body being in the home for so long, she started to smell. Carla said that the foul smell grew so strong that they had to leave the house and stay with friends or in hotels for some time before they decided to just move houses. When moving, Jonathan put Jacqueline's body in that tote and took her with them. Then, upon Jackie's discovery of the body, that is when Jonathan decided to move her out of the home. First, it seems that he brought her to the cemetery, but he must have changed his mind and instead dumped her at the abandoned home. We still don't know who called.
I'm really surprised with the aunt not making the call when she discovered the smell in the body of this poor rotting out child that was so brutally tortured and basically left to die by the mother failing to actually be a mother and letting the boyfriend run everything. And Sailor and I were talking about this earlier. It's sometimes the mother might not have actually been that brutal, but met somebody and then either fear that that person could leave them or say stuff against them. They cooperated and went farther than they would have. It's not right in any she went on the run. The aunt? Petty? And you can classify a tote as a container. Oh, so she's a flight risk. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just these poor children and people being sick, demented, and twisted in their own heads do things to their children because they don't know how to do anything, and it's a coward to pick on an innocent child. I'd never do that to my child. If I saw someone doing that, oh, they better run, because I don't tolerate any of that. Considering between Sailor and I, the children range from 19 years to 20 months. So it's not something I tolerate. I grew up without being abused or things taken away like that, or they wouldn't get food or any of the normal sustaining of life necessities. But I've come to understand as when I was younger that there's cold and cruel people out there, and they're everywhere. And unfortunately, a lot of them have kids, and DCF, CPS don't really do anything about it. They go after the families that are doing everything they need to do, are taking care of their children, supporting them, and those are the ones that they go after, target, and destroy. I don't call them the Department of Children's and Families. I call them the destroying center of families, because that's majority of what they do. There are good agents inside the agencies, but a lot of times, sometimes they're just the low end of the totem pole, and the supervisor says, oh no, we're doing this. I know plenty of people that go through it. Alright, so they were both arrested. But this Carla only has a $1 million versus a $5 million bond. For bonds here, it's just 10%, so if they got someone that's going to give them $100,000 for their bond for Carla, or a $500,000 for the other two. It's the unfortunate part, but I don't see them getting out. And CT got rid of the death penalty, brought it back, got rid of it again. Sometimes I see certain things, it's the death penalty is the better way. You want to torture, it's eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I grew up old-fashioned that way. It's, but I also look at where other people that say it's cruel punishment to do that to somebody, to end their life with the death penalty for them taking the life of another. But at the same time, isn't it cruel and punishment for them to sit inside a jail cell and rot? So in the end, they're both wrong. But who knows? We'll see what CT does with them, and we'll see where CT takes it. Prison justice, yup. Depends on which one they go here. Depends on which one. Well, actually, the sisters would go to Niantic, the woman's prison, but he could wind up at some really bad ones here in CT. They got rid of their Supermax. It was the only Supermax in CT. Closed that a few years back. And they started transferring him around. But if he gets locked in either Cheshire or he goes to Osborne, he'll have fun. He'll have some fun. But let's get back to see what Rachel says.
Witness at the cemetery who saw this suspicious activity and then followed him to the home and saw him dump her there. We don't really know yet. That has not been released. Along with all of this very disturbing information we just heard, officers also found notes in the Notes app on Carla's phone, which detailed much of what happened to her daughter. Once again, those notes have not been released, but Carla apparently told police that she planned to go on a podcast to share her story before she was arrested. So based on everything we know, we see that Jacqueline lived in a safe, loving home all up until Carla ripped her away from the life she knew and brought Jacqueline to live with her. Things seemed to be going okay until mid-2024 when they decided that Jacqueline no longer deserved to be treated like a human. She no longer deserved to eat and no longer deserved to be treated with any sort of dignity. There still isn't much information out there on why this happened when it did or what led to it. Maybe Jacqueline was rebelling more because she was entering her preteen years. Maybe Carla and Jonathan just grew tired of being parents. Or maybe they were always neglectful and abusive parents and they were just better at covering it up until it just grew out of control with time. To me, I think that seems like a more likely scenario, seeing as how she was taken away from her mother to begin with. Through all of this, as I stated earlier, there was some DCFS involvement with Jackie's life. They weren't necessarily involved with the custody issue, but they did do check-ins with their mother to make sure she was safe. As I stated, their last involvement was in 2022 when it was determined that Carla and Jonathan provided a safe, healthy home. But then, in 2025, a new case was opened in regards to a younger sibling of Jacqueline's. When the DCS worker followed up, Carla was asked about Jacqueline. She said that Jacqueline was doing well, that she was no longer in public school because she was being homeschooled. Of course, the DCS worker wanted to actually see Jacqueline, so they arranged a video call. On that video call, Carla showed a child who she said was Jacqueline. The child even pretended to be Jacqueline, but she wasn't her. It was a younger sister of hers. But because I guess she looked similar enough, the DCS worker felt that things were just fine. By March of 2025, the case was closed. After all of this horrific information came to light, by October 13th, Carla Garcia, Jacqueline Garcia, and Jonathan Anita were all arrested and charged in connection to...
I'm back. I'm gonna go through a little bit more, and then I will possibly do a part 2. Thank you, Fenrir, of course, for taking over. My IBS is really messing with me, and I always want to do fair use and be respectful. So I'm going to go over this for a little bit longer, and then I will probably do a part 2. I feel absolutely terrible, but if anybody has IBS or anything stomach related, you know you can't control it.
Jacqueline's death. Carla and Jonathan are charged with murder with special circumstances, conspiracy to commit murder, child cruelty, as well as unlawful restraint. Jackie Garcia is also facing charges including child cruelty and unlawful restraint. Carla and Jonathan were given a $5 million bond, while Jackie got a $1 million bond.
She is 28 years of age, residing in New Britain, has been there for 2 months. Lifelong resident, state of Connecticut. Not currently employed at this time, was looking for warehouse style work. Does have high school education and a little bit beyond that as well. Some medical issues reported to our office, prior substance use, no mental health issues reported. In regards to cases, she is currently on parole. There is a parole remand lodged. She's on parole out of a case for New Britain, pled out September 11th. So she pled out in New Britain, September 11th, 2024, risk of injury to a child, 10 years, after 18 months of served with 5 years probation. The parole remand has been lodged. The max date for that parole is April 19th of 2026. That is her only criminal conviction on this matter. Bond was set at $1 million. Bail would recommend at least that bond remain as set for $1 million. Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Carla Garcia, she is 29 years old, currently resides in New Britain. She is a lifelong resident of the state of Connecticut. Date for that parole is April 19th of 2026. That is her only criminal conviction on this matter. Bond was set at $1 million. Bail would recommend at least that bond remain as set for $1 million. Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Carla Garcia.
2 months later, withdrawing Mimi.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm trying to fix it. Yeah. They were under... all except the boyfriend of the mother. They were...
abuse and neglect them as soon as they have them.
Okay. The boyfriend was 30. The two females were under 30. And that shocked the hell out of me. They're under 30 years old? This is why DCF needs to really, really get their shit together here in the state of Connecticut and go to the calls that really are needed for, not bullshit like, you know, I've been through where it's just because,
Piss somebody off.
you know, I'll just flat out say it. Fenrir's mother hates me. She absolutely hates me. I don't think she's ever really liked me, but ever since Zoe, my youngest, was born, things went downhill very fast. Now, mind you, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And at this point, Fenrir was working his butt off. He went to work every single day, all of that. And Saturdays that he didn't have one of his kids.
Have my oldest.
He didn't have his oldest. So it is what it is. She made a false accusation. We already looked at the worker and we told her we know who called because she threatened it. She took pictures of that. You know, it was obvious. And because she didn't get her way that way, her next step was to evict us, which we're in the process of. Because DCF made a little note that if she calls, it's out of spite, and she even said they won't do anything to her standards, blah, 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 blah. So I had to go through that. Fenrir had to go through that. We had, what, 2 visits? 3. 3 visits. When that could have saved this little girl's life. Or, yeah, because it was
in 24.
It was in 24. Like, it just blows my mind. I know they have to do everything they're called out to. I understand that. That's their policy. That's how they work. That's how they operate. But, God, look at these families here. This is why I cannot stand. One of the reasons I hate living here is just DCF system and the court systems have failed child after child after child because they were too busy going to a call that was for...
Oh, they're not doing what I want.
Yeah, Petty, it sucks. We're trying to get on a program for housing. It's going to be a close call because we're supposed to be out by the 30th of this month. And I always keep it cool, calm, and collected, but underneath, just like Fenrir, are we freaking out a little bit? Yeah, we are. Especially after he, unfortunately, lost his job after 5 years for a stupid ass reason. And he was their best tech they had. He was certified to do and work on a lot of things that they had there. So, are we freaking out a little bit? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. But, are we going to make it happen and make sure our kids have a roof over their head? Damn straight we will. We'll do whatever it takes. Our babies will not go without. Yeah, Petty. Oh, I'm trying not to cry. Yeah, before the holidays, before Christmas, when it's been tight because of the how much things cost up here, even just the cost of living. That's why I'm trying so hard to become monetized, because not for the money. It's not for the money. It's anything that I earn is gonna go to my kids, my babies, to have a roof over their head, to do whatever I can to help. We tried to get it where it was gonna be at least after Christmas. But his mother wouldn't budge. And we didn't want to go in front of a judge to either get less time and have to pull and have to pay what this place fully runs for, or risk it and maybe possibly get an extra 2 months or so.
No, it would have been either we risked it and got, we had to be out in 5 days, or the judge could have given us to a max of 6 months, but I'd have to get fair market rental value at about $2,000 a month on top of everything else.
Yep. So
That's how messed up the housing is. And she only needed to win on one count.
yep.
You can make up a BS count, but if you can't beat it, she wins.
We could, one account was that both times that I moved in here, the first time and the second, that I was never given permission. We had proof.
No. It's
What?
what the other one is because there was no written lease, she could state that she gave you permission and then revoked it at any
Yeah,
time she
yeah,
wanted.
that's true.
So she did the lapse of time bullshit.
And trust me, don't worry, I ain't gonna be on here like BJ ball my eyes. I was like, oh my god, I don't know. No, I'm an adult. Fenrir is an adult. We take care of our kids. And we will, somehow, some way, between us and our family that we have, we will make it happen. We're not going to have our babies out in the cold. There's absolutely no way. And if that means a little shortage at Christmas, you know what? They get spoiled anyway. They do. And when they look back, when they're old enough to understand, you know, even if I can give them one thing, say we, move and get them one thing under the tree, just setting up the tree is going to make me excited. I will be so happy just to have the tree up and the lights, because I love the feeling of it. And we will officially be out from underneath his mother's thumb. And as soon as we do move out, I'm personally, Fenrir cannot get the same kind of thing. I think he has to do something else. I'm getting an RO on her. Because I can. Which means if my kids are in the vicinity, of course, of me, she cannot approach. She will not be seeing her grandkids. Ever again. She's done this to Fenrir before when he was with his ex-wife. And it hurts me more that a mother can look at her son who gave her grandkids and just say, oh, whatever. That's what really breaks my heart, is not just what she's doing, she's hurting Fenrir because of the babies. And I do not want that, sorry, one of my littles is in here, so I have to code word it. That person I just don't think deserves, just like 7 years ago, I cut off all communications with my biological father. I have not caved and I have not let them see him. I'm going to make sure that my children are protected from going what I had to go through as a kid and what Fenrir did. Like, I can't.
Your brother and I won't be going now. Be back.
I can't. So, I ain't gonna be like, moo and be like, oh my god, guys, I can't do it. No. I gotta put my big girl panties on. I have to work through it. And we will. We will find a way for our children as well as ourselves. I have made it as far as I have so far. And there's not anything I wouldn't do for my kids. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. My little, my 7-year-old can hear me and talking that there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. He knows that I would do anything for him.
Hello.
And his siblings. He knows that for his sister, his older brother, for him, there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. Right?
Yeah.
Mommy and Daddy always make...
Love you.
I love you too. Mwah, I love you, baby. Alright, I'm gonna go back to this. But yeah, it is pretty awful, but... Oh, Petty, no, don't feel rude at all, sweetheart. Go get some sleep. You're It, see, my 7-year-old saying it's okay.
Yeah, I've been learning a lot of stuff.
Oh, Petty said, "Hey, baby, your mama is a beautiful soul."
Aw, thank you. I know she is.
Aww.
And sometimes she's very cute.
I love him. Petty, go get some sleep, sweetheart. Don't ever feel bad for going to sleep. You need your sleep, girl. You've got littles, you've got grand littles. Trust me. Go get some sleep. I love you lots, and I will keep you updated on everything that's going on. Like you always know I do. And I love you lots.
Why not just leave them with their other family members? If having a child is so hard that you end up abusing and neglecting them, why not just give them back? Cases like this one will always just leave me so frustrated and confused. Jacqueline didn't deserve any of this. I can't imagine how scared she must have felt being tied up and starved, how much pain she must have been in, questioning why she wasn't allowed to eat, why her mother didn't love her enough to feed her, why her aunt didn't do anything to stop it, questioning why she was taken away from her grandparents, who loved her. This and cases like it will never make sense. All we can do at this point is hope that Carla, Jackie, and Jonathan all get the justice they deserve and are forced to face the consequences of their actions. I hope that anyone who works for DCS sees this case as yet another example of what can happen if you aren't careful enough. I know those workers thought they saw
I know. Good night, Petty. Sweet dreams, honey.
Jackie, but if they had questioned Carla about the rest of the kids in that house and asked to see all of them, maybe they would have realized that one of them was missing. I don't understand why they were only concerned with Jacqueline and the younger sister and not the rest of the siblings. I know that the report was only made on the younger sister, but obviously when
So that's it for this one. I do have a couple other ones I want to go over and whatnot, and stop that. I will do it another part tomorrow. I do apologize for my IBS, but things are out of my control. So I hope everybody has a good night. Thank you to my mods. Thank you to everybody who's been here. And I shall see you guys tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.